Hi, welcome to this mini learning about my human in the loop journey where I'm trying to reimagine media business operations with AI. So let me start with the problem in mind. So this is a article talking about Descript and how it can help digitize events. So things like your podcasts, your webinars, any multimedia recording and so on. And you've got my face in here, which is always disconcerting. But anyway, what I wanted to do, which is something that I've never really seen work very well, is to create a related content block that talks about other content on the site in the context of this article. So my vision is almost like, okay, you've read this article and it's talking about AI-based video editing, clearly. And what I want to do is point you towards other articles where there is a clear relevance to that. Now, in the past, what you would do is you'd have an editor going, oh, this one, this one, this one. And the titles of those articles would be whatever the title of that article is, but it's not necessarily in context with this article. So you're asking people to take a leap of faith and say, hey, this might be interesting. And what I wanted to do is have this entire block rewritten in context, almost like for example, if I was showing you this article and I was like, oh, and by the way, this article talks about this, and these four are really interesting because this one points out this one points out that, and so on, so that you've got a very clear reason as to why you would go, let's say, to this article. And the great thing is with AI, the ability to create this is super simple. So I'm just showing you how it works really quickly. You go, I want the further reading block for this article. It goes into query, finds all the related stuff, a couple of GPTs, OpenAI here and Gemini here, do the rewriting, and then it gets pushed back into your site again. If you'd like to see how this works in real time, drop me a comment and I will write how to build the sequence up in Make. And you can replicate this in any automation platform. And then what I wanted to do was, if you click on this, it then goes into that article. And it does do that. But here is a problem, what I found. So it's a bit of a win and a fail. The win, when I looked at the data, I saw more people coming down that had got to this point and clicking through than the sort of average benchmarks that I've seen in my consulting work, which I've drawn on. So that's good. Step one is good. It does a better job of leading people onto the next place. But then what happened was the next place is where it failed, because sometimes these descriptions gave false promises in the next article and they weren't fulfilled in the next articles. Because so the next stat of, okay, if I now got someone into this next article, how long do they spend? That was quite short. And I believe that is because the two things, the AI is creating a false expectation here. And when you click through, it may just be a small thing that is relevant to give someone further information to their current interest. And I believe what needs to happen is that this link needs to take you to the exact place where the related content is, to follow that journey through a little bit more. So a win and a fail. So a win in the sense that is doing a better job moving people on. A fail as in it wasn't really fulfilling expectations at the second end. So the next thing I'm going to do is I intend to change how this further reading block is created. I've taken it off the site at the moment while we run through those changes, tighten up what gets shown in here, and make sure that when you click on here, you get taken to the right part of the next content piece. So look out for that. I'll share the data with you when that is live. In terms of the data here, it's a 3% click-through rate that we're seeing in aggregate from this block. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following my experiments on how we can change media operations. One of the big learnings here, though, is that this is already better than some commercial solutions out there. And the cost of this is close to negligible, really, because you're just running a couple of workflows and then embedding this content directly onto your site. And the speed impact is also negligible because of that.